Hello, true friends and fellow gamers. This is day one of my vlog, my MPFL Reconstruction recovery vlog. And I'm 1 day post-op, so I had my operation yesterday. If I seem a little bit slow and if I forget anything, it's because I didn't sleep great last night and because I've just taken my painkiller cocktail, so I'm a little bit tired, a little bit deflated right now, but that's okay. We'll get to wherever we're going in time. It's all fine. So, I want to talk about yesterday and what it was like. It was very different. So, I've actually had this operation before. I've had MPFL reconstruction on my left knee. That was about 7 years ago, 8 years ago. It's all healed up now. And it was a very different experience. I was expecting more or less the same thing, but actually it was quite different. And I think actually they made some changes when I got there that maybe the medical staff there weren't intending to make. I think they've made some changes because of the COVID-19 pandemic that's going on and just various little things they've changed in order to kind of try and reduce risk. So I thought I was going to be in and out very quickly because I always have been. This is my fourth operation that I've had in my life, and I've always been in and out very quickly. I recover very well from anesthesia and stuff like that. My body tends to deal with it pretty well, so they let me out pretty fast. But they also, when they called me to tell me to come in, they said that I'd be in and out very quickly. But I wasn't, because when I got there, they said, we're not putting you under general anesthetic, we're not putting you to sleep. We're going to give you, they said, we're going to give you an epidural. So they gave me an epidural, which is what they give to women who are giving birth via cesarean section, like my wife did. So when we had our daughter, my wife had a unplanned cesarean section, and they stick this massive thing into your base of your spine and inject it in, and it essentially numbs the whole lower part of your body. And that was what they did to me. And this was because they believed that it would create less of a risk that I would cough. They believed that if they put me under general anaesthetic, put me to sleep, they would have to put an oxygen tube down into my throat, and there's a greater risk that I'll cough all over them. And I guess just a greater risk that I'll spread, if I've got COVID, that I'll spread it. I mean, obviously they tested me beforehand, but there's obviously still a chance that I could have had it and given it to them. So, okay, fine. We went ahead with that. Great place. I went to Epsom Hospital. They've got a specialist orthopaedic unit, elective orthopaedic centre, and it was great. It was a much better atmosphere, much better place all round to the last time I had it done, which was in my local hospital. Great staff, great facility. Everything was cool. Couldn't really argue. Everyone's good humoured. Everyone had good bedside manner, all that stuff. We were all laughing and joking and all that kind of thing. I got into the operating theatre because this is what they're doing now since COVID-19. I had my sinus operated on a couple of months ago, and they did the same thing. They put me out in the operating theatre, not in a room somewhere else, which is what they usually do. Since COVID-19, they seem to want you to move yourself around. I don't know why. They want to put you out right there on the spot. So rather than being in a kind of a warm, kind of dimly lit room, and they kind of put you out and take you through, you're in this bright, cold place with, like, they've got the radio on or something, because the medical staff listen to the radio while they operate on you, apparently. And they get you to lie down on the table, and they got me to lie in the fetal position. I'm bantering with the anesthesiologist, and she said, I'm not putting you under, but you're going to sleep. I was like, okay, I would like that, thank you. I'd prefer to go to sleep. And they were like, okay, we need to put this spinal tap in you. They injected me with something in my hand first, and they said, we need to put this spinal tap in you. Please put your knees up onto your chest, lay down on your side, put your knees up onto your chest, so kind of get into the fetal position. So I did that, and I was laughing and bantering with this nurse, and suddenly I just wake up, and I'm in bed, and it's done, and it's finished. I kind of half thought, when she said I would fall asleep, I thought she she meant I would probably fall asleep halfway through, but as it turns out, I just went out, and I woke up, and the operation was done, and my legs were completely dead. Everything from the waist down was dead weight. It was totally unresponsive. I did not enjoy this at all. This was something I've not experienced before, and I did not like it. It was just like my legs were completely unresponsive. You make a big effort to move them, and nothing comes. And I found that really quite disconcerting. And I knew I've just got to wait for it to wear off, but it wasn't particularly pleasant. I've never had that before. I now have a lot of sympathy for women who go through cesarean section. They say, too posh to push. It's the easy way. Cesarean section is not the easy way. Cesareans, believe me, having been with my wife all the way through hers, there was nothing easy about that. Maybe it's a little bit easier if it's planned and everything, but having your legs just dead weights that you can't control, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything fun about that. That wasn't that wasn't very cool. But what started to happen as the epidural started to wear off, it starts to wear off from the top of your waist and gradually work its way down. So you start being able to move, your thigh and your upper part of your leg a little bit first, and the last thing you get control over is your toe. So I couldn't wiggle my toes for a long time. But as the feeling started to come back, it starts to come back, and I started to realise, I think I need to pee. I think I need to pee, but I'm not sure if I can. I'm not even sure if I really need to. I'm half numb. I don't think my equipment's working. They left me this big bottle thing. I didn't have a catheter. They left me a bottle so that I could just, pee right there in bed, just in the bottle, and put it to the side. I thought maybe I should try to pee. I don't know if I can. I didn't feel like I had control of my regular bodily functions like that. I don't think I could pee if I wanted to. I think I could push and nothing would come out. I don't think I've got the power to. I did eventually. I managed to have a go because from like bending around trying to do things, and just the little movements I could do, I realised, I think I need to pee. I think my bladder's full, and that's what I was feeling this discomfort. It was very weird. The feeling that you need to pee is something we all feel and know. It's something we learn as babies. We start off not knowing what it is and how to control it, and that's something we learn over our first few years. And we all know how it feels. This feeling, I was not sure if it meant I needed to pee or not, because I'm half numb, but I'm starting to get the sensation back, and I kind of feel like I need to pee, but I also kind of am not sure. It's very weird, very difficult to describe, because your brain knows what it's like to need to pee, and this didn't feel like that, but that's what it was. So I kind of put the bottle there, and it was a very slow number one. But I got there in the end. I kind of got distracted and started, I was playing a game on my phone or something, and I looked down, and the bottle was full, and I was like, oh my god. Had to deal with that, and that was a bit touch and go there, to be honest with you, but that was okay. Got that sorted out. Bantering with the gentleman opposite me who was having his second full knee replacement. He, like me, was really into martial arts and stuff, and he just said to me, like, don't do martial arts. If you've got bad knees, just don't do it. It's not worth it. You're just going to destroy yourself. And we had a long conversation about it. And the physiotherapist came over and saw me, and I couldn't do anything. My legs were not there yet. My legs are about halfway back, and he was trying to say, hey, can you do this? Can you feel this? Can you do that? I couldn't do anything. I was useless. I was a dead weight, and I wasn't happy about it. So he went away. They fed me. A little bit came over. The surgeon came and spoke to me. He was very reassuring. He said, that knee is not going anywhere. You're going to have a good knee. So I'm happy about that. He did tell me that he couldn't, he can't do anything about the damage to the cartilage, which is underneath the knee. There's nothing I could do about that. There's nothing anyone can do about that. And I said, that's going to be an issue later in life, right? He said, that's maybe going to come back and haunt you later on in life, so you've got to be prepared for that. So I'm thinking osteoarthritis is probably a likely thing that's going to happen. Something I'm just going to have to live with and deal with at the time. hopefully there'll be some advances between now and then which I'll be able to benefit from, but let's not bet on it. So yeah, something else that was different, other than just the way they put me down, put me under, they didn't put me straight on the heavy drugs. Last time I did this, they put me on tramadol, which is a synthetic opiate, synthetic morphine. And I stayed on that for the first week of my recovery. And I had zero pain. I remember having no pain whatsoever for that first week. I'm sure I had discomfort and swelling and all the rest, but I don't remember having any pain at all for the first week. This time, they just gave me standard over-the-counter stuff, which is what I'm on now, paracetamol, ibuprofen, that kind of thing. And they said, here's some oxycodone, which is OxyContin in America. It's the stuff that everyone's addicted to. And they said, take this only as needed. Don't take it if you don't need it. And I thought, this is a bit strange. Why is this happening? So I did a little bit of Googling. I did a bit of research. And I think actually I'm going to try and avoid taking it. I haven't taken it so far. They've given me some, and if I need it, I'll take it. If I had a bit of a rough night's sleep last night, I was pretty uncomfortable. And I think if I continue to have, difficulty sleeping at night, I probably will take one at night just to get me through and get me some sleep, because lack of sleep's no good for recovery or mood or anything. And I do want to have a good bit of sleep. But from what I gather, opiates have a suppressive effect on the immune system, and just the fact that I've had an operation means that my immune system is being suppressed anyway, which isn't great at a time when there's a pandemic. I definitely don't want to get COVID now. The surgeon was very clear. He said, you don't want to catch COVID now because your immune system is suppressed from this operation. If I take regular opiate painkillers, it's going to become even more suppressed, which not only makes me more at risk if I catch something, but it's also likely to hamper and delay and prolong my recovery. My recovery is likely to take longer. From what I've seen, looking at a couple of studies, it looks like your immune function plays quite a big part in how quickly you're going to recover from an operation. And certainly the more things like morphine, various opiates that you take, they certainly do destabilize your immune function. So, it might be worth it. At the moment, the pain's by no means unbearable. It gets kind of bad if I go for a walk. I'm not really going for a walk. If I have to get up and walk over to the toilet and use the toilet, then it's pretty uncomfortable. It's not the best, to be honest. I've already had more pain since I had the operation yesterday. It's been 24 hours or so. I've had more pain than I did in the first week of my last operation, that's really striking. That really strikes me that I am very aware that it feels very, very different. Also, no brace. I've got some compression on, which my wife just helped me put on, but no brace, which is cool. They don't do braces anymore, which is good, because from what I gather from the latest research, braces are probably more of a hindrance to your recovery than they are a help. Any kind of protective benefit that they might give is probably, it's kind of outweighed by the added difficulty that they add to your life and to the stiffness that it creates in the knee. Last time I had a great deal of stiffness, and that went on for a very long time, and I feel like it's probably going to be better this time because I'm not in a brace. Also, just doing things is easier. If I drop something, I can pick it up so much easier. If I need to grab something or just use the toilet, it's so much easier without a brace. The brace was easily the worst thing about the last time that I had the operation. That first week or two where the brace is set to keep your leg perfectly straight. Oh my god, that is just the worst thing. But this is a lot better. This is much, much better. So maybe that might be worth the trade-off. To be honest, I'm having pain and stuff, but I've got no brace. So, maybe it all kind of balances out in the end. But so far, at the moment I'm in the very early stage. I'm in the immobilization phase, which means I'm not doing physio yet. I'm not really weight bearing yet. They did get me to weight bear in the hospital when eventually the feeling came back to my legs, and the physio came over and he got me to walk to make sure I could walk with crutches. He got me to go up a flight of stairs and then down the flight of stairs to make sure I could do that. He got me to take a step up onto a step that doesn't have any rails on it to make sure I could do that, and step back down again. That was all fine. So I have done some weight bearing, but I'm trying not to for the first couple of days. The first couple of days, from the research I've done and from the literature they've given me, I want to spend the first couple of days just resting it, not weight bearing, not getting up and about if I can help it. I'm only getting up to go to the toilet. I'm not doing anything else if I can help it. I am periodically putting my foot up on this cushion to elevate and drain some of the blood out, because this knee is pretty badly swollen and it's going to continue to swell, I think. I am periodically icing it. I've got an ice pack and I just put ice on it for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. And I've just put the compression sleeve on it, so it's now, they gave me like it was wrapped up in a bandage, and I've taken that off and put the compression sleeve on. So I've got dressing. I haven't actually seen the actual scars yet, because I've got dressing, and the dressing will come off in a week or so, or I think it's a week or two it will come off. So I've got dressing, compression over it. The compression I'll keep on there, even though it's a little uncomfortable, but it's supposed to be. It's swelling up and it's trying to compress it down, which is kind of the point. So that will carry on for a couple of days, and then it's Friday now. So on Sunday, I will start to do my physio. I will start to move around a little bit more. I want to build towards full weight bearing. I want to build towards more bending the knee, which I'm not really doing a great deal of now. I can do a little bit, but I'm trying not to really. I'm just trying to protect the work they've done really for this next couple of days. That's the key bit. I think what I'll do is I will make another video, an update, once I'm at the next phase, which will be in a couple of days, which is the protective. It's called the protective stage on the literature that I've got. So I'm in the total immobilization phase now. I'm going to move over to the protective phase, and I'll catch you then. Bye.